Hello and welcome to another daily market review where I will be going over three stocks that were most interesting to me on the 25th of August, which was Tuesday. And as I am a predominantly small caps trader, I'm going to be talking about three stocks that are from the small caps and low float space. So these three stocks are going to be SWVL, DAIC, and PMI. Day as a whole was not that interesting to me. I did not have uh, success in my trades, which I can share over my weekly or monthly stats review. But essentially, what I see is that there is no follow through on the breakouts, or when there are breakouts and parabolic moves to the upside, it just feels like it is not easy to catch it, similar to what we had with BTCT on Monday. It made a decent move up, broke through that 180 level. Let me actually show it. So BTCT, and then if we scroll back down to yesterday, this 180 was both a pre-market high and daily level, and this breakout here looked awesome. Like we based at 150 and then we went to 275 almost. Which is a huge move, right? Especially for a stock with this price. But this move was too fast to catch, and usually what I like to see is a bit more consolidation. And then when it comes to this consolidation here, taking VWAP breakouts is not something that I do, because at VWAP you have both players on both sides, both long and short, um, trying to sway the stock in a certain direction. And based on my stats from before, I have not seen success, which is yet another reason. Okay, so let's get into the stocks from today. First one is going to be DAIC. This one moved actually on Monday as well. So the first thing, as I always do, and this is, I would say, a common practice among the traders in small cap space. You go out, you take a look at the daily chart, and then you mark out the most significant daily levels. In this case, it was yesterday, so 102 million shares traded, which is a pretty decent amount. And then we look at how this stock moved compared to that. So we can see that there was a move after hours, and it was pretty high pop, but after that there was a bit of a fade. And then in the morning part of the session, there was a bit of movement. So I've marked pre-market high. I always do, although in this case it was more like a morning high, right? Um, so fast forwarding for like 2 hours, we can see what happened. So straight off the open, it was a strong drive, right? Like it was just green candles after green candles. And then the trade that I had was right here. So I marked this level. This has now become, or should I say this one? This has now become a resistance. And what you can see, what I saw for small caps that can happen often, is that we get a strong opening drive for a couple of minutes, and then we have a pullback, in this case to 9 EMA, which looked perfect. We form an opening range, or should I say range, not really an opening range, because the low would be here, but low was here. And then as I saw that instead of just bouncing up and down in this range, there were a couple of candles that moved towards 480, and this is where I had my entry for a breakout with the stop below the low of this range. However, it did not work. We started getting some follow through, but it was not proper. We moved around 20-ish cents, which was definitely not enough. And then if we move out on 10-second chart, go back to 930 or something. Let me actually zoom it in. Yes, so this is what you want to see, high green candle first first time it tried to really break it, it was rejected, and that was good. And it was a quick drop, right? And at this point it looked like, hey, it may go down. However, bid stepped in, so that was a good sign. And then the next time we started grinding, the bid came in, and then we had this range, not range, but the trend, where we just started bidding and bidding higher. And at this point it looked like this is it, we will break it out. And it started doing something like that, but it was not sustained, and unfortunately this trade did not work. And then the last pop that happened was very aggressively rejected. And then what happened is that we had a drop, a nasty drop and a halt down. But then an interesting thing, this was the yesterday's high, and this is also what you can see often, is especially when it's a second day play, yesterday's high is really respected well. And in this case it was a bounce price, like we could not fall down below that level, even though it was a nasty drop from here, nasty rejection, nasty halt down. However, we had a pretty nice bounce back to 9 EMA. Now granted, we did fall below it after that, but this was perhaps a nice idea for a bounce. Again, a risk disclaimer, I am not yet consistently profitable, so this is just my experience. This is just something that I see. I'm still developing trader with some experience, and you should not take this advice straight to heart and trade what I say here. You should develop your own edge. That is the best way to make it. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to share about DAIC. And then we have PMI, which I did not trade. I didn't trade it, but it looked interesting to share, because it had these waves, right, where it was pretty much inactive during the pre-market session, and then as the morning unfolded, we started getting these valleys and peaks with more and more volume getting done, and bigger moves getting done, after finally we had this capitulatory move right here, after which we just stuffed it straight down. However, we consolidated below VWAP, and this move here, I wanted to point that one out. There was not a huge squeeze during the regular hours, but this move from VWAP right here all the way through here is pretty interesting, because it tells a story about the people who got in here and who got in here on this drop. Like, you can imagine how scary it can become for some of the short sellers when they see that their position, which was supposed to fade all the way back down, is now passing VWAP and moving further and further up. So in this case, it was a mini squeeze. However, we still stopped at this high of day, which illustrates another lesson. The high of day is also a level which gets respected pretty good during the day. If we made it in the morning, it can be very well respected later in the day. Okay, but nothing special here when it comes to my potential trades. Now, these are breakouts in a sense that you get a pullback to 9 EMA, and then you get a pop, a pullback, a pop, a pullback, and a pop. But it is not something that I trade at this moment. However, it may be interesting to note these charts, and then if I see that the moves are repeating and the patterns are repeating, then I can definitely consider having some of these in my arsenal. And the last stock I wanted to share is SWVL. So for this one, it was again a respect of the daily level, which happened few weeks back. So if we zoom it out, we can see that there was a 43 million shares volume on this day, and the high was 240 something. Let me see. Okay, 245, right? So this was the level that was definitely going to be significant. And then if we zoom in on the 1 minute chart here, we can see that this is that level that after we got this fall through pre-market, we could not lift this level at all. So that was pretty interesting, and it coincided with VWAP as well, which is another plus, although we did not even touch VWAP. But what you could consider, I did not trade this, but taking the shorts off of this level is something that you can do. At some point it could look like it may do a breakout. For instance, here it looked like it's consolidating, that it may pop up. The biggest downside of that potential trade is the proximity of VWAP, right? Like the VWAP was so close and we are below it, which means that this is a big negative sign for taking any breakouts. For me, we have to be above VWAP. That is one of my prerequisites. And then even though it was not a breakout trade, I think that it was not short either. However, this pop right here was an interesting opportunity to potentially get in. Now, granted, these are not some huge risk reward trades, but they can be pretty decent scalps. I mean, you can see how many times they got respected, and then on this move right here, it was just unsustainable. It was just too quick. And if you had a stop somewhere around here, you could make 2 to 1 or at least 1 to 1, so it could be a small scalp, nothing too special. After that, the stock did not do much. It just faded, but mostly consolidated sideways. So that's a wrap for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the comments if you get value from this video, whether I should speak more about my trades, whether I should make the per stock, per symbol analysis more concise, and that I should include more tickers, should include something else. Just let me know. And thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next video.